Hello everyone. Today let's talk about inflation, not expected inflation but real life inflation, and go to Turkey. So in June in Turkey, the consumer price index, the CPI, rose to 17.5% compared to 16.6% in May. The rise is general and it affects the food sector even more. On the producer front, the producer price index, the PPI, rose even more to 42.9% in June. So there's a gap between the CPI and the PPI. The gap is large, it's widening, which is also worrying for the coming months. Inflation in the food sector, and the food sector accounts for a quarter of the consumer basket, jumped to 20% from 17% in May, which is well above the central bank targets. But it's not just the food, because when we look at core inflation excludes volatile items such as food and energy. So core inflation also rose to 17.5%. So what does it mean in simple words? It means very strong inflationary pressures in Turkey. The situation is of course difficult for the population, and it's also difficult for the central bank because it's now caught between the stone and the hard place, because what to choose? Should they fight inflation or should they give in to Mr Erdogan's pressure to cut rate this summer? On the one hand, Turkey has reopened and the growth outlook is improving. But on the other hand, the lira is weak, it's even persistently weak, and commodity prices are higher. So it means it's not really compatible with a cut in the rates, even though Mr Erdogan signaled the possibility of a rate cut this summer. So the cut, as I said, is not compatible with the inflation levels. The end of the year looks more reasonable because the lira depreciation effect will have faded by then, which also means lower inflation. So what does the central bank say? In June, the central bank kept the rate unchanged for the third consecutive time. Mr Kafçoğlu, who is the fourth governor appointed since July 2019, is in place. And since March, when he took office, the lira weakened by more than 15% against the dollar, despite his commitment to maintain a tight monetary policy until the 5% inflation target is reached. So the central bank had forecasted that inflation would have peaked by April, but obviously it did not materialize. And the announcement of a 15% increase in the cost of electricity and up to 20% increase in the price of natural gas does not bode well with the July inflation figure. So the next central bank meeting will be on July the 14th, and for sure it will be no picnic for Mr Kafçoğlu. Thank you.